And we're back with another episode of the Lakers Fast Break Podcast. Gerald Glassman. I didn't know if I was coming on tonight because Joe Sorrell wasn't in the greatest of moods with the Dodgers bullpen blowing another game. But he said he's going to jump on tonight. So I said, let's do it. Let's go ahead and talk some Lakers right here at the Lakers Fast Break. Pop Culture Cosmos, where we cover the latest news and trends in pop culture each and every week, twice a week, wherever you get your podcasts. And again, I apologize for not being able to schedule this out sooner. So I appreciate you jumping on last minute with me. But if you want to go ahead and check out the latest Pop Culture Cosmos in your spare time, we talk about the big hit in Demon Slayer Infinity Castle, worldwide success, and looking to be one of the biggest anime movies of all time, if not the biggest. And it's on its way. Plus also as well Borderlands 4, which came out. I know that a lot of people on PC are not too happy with it. And the CEO of 2K, Randy Pitchford, said some very unkind things, which would make me not want to buy or return the game immediately because of it. So go ahead and listen to the show. We talk about Borderlands 4 and is Paramount buying Warner Brothers? That's been on the table. Warner Brothers seemingly wants to go ahead and be bought by somebody. So who could it be? Could be Paramount, could be Netflix, Amazon, who knows? But we talk about that and so much more on the latest Pop Culture Cosmos as well. Intel Wild, what's up, my friend Jay? Raiders for the... I was thinking, Jay, because they've won a championship, so I can't really say that they're the LA Clippers of the NFL, but damn, they look bad. They look bad, and they only beat New England barely. They just can't run the ball, and they got what? They got the top 5, top pick in the draft, right up there, one of the top picks in the draft. And Genti can't do nothing. Geno Smith is last night throwing to the other team. Yeah, they just look bad. Just Raiders gonna Raider, I guess is what basically I could say. Like we say, Clip's gonna clip. We'll talk about the Clippers later on here as well. It's always good to talk about when they're on a down note. But of course, it is Gerald Glassford. Gregory, what's going on, my friend? Jay, Intel Wild, Sports Baby, great to have you here. Hopefully you watched with Sports Baby, Mark Henry. Joe got mad, so I think he tuned off a little early, but right there on playback.tv/the Joe Sorrell Experiment. And also as well, the Lakers Fast Break has been playing some stuff from what I hear as well. So go ahead and check out what we're doing there as well. And I want to make sure you guys know what's upcoming for us. First up, I believe if it's not already out already and available to everyone, the Atlanta season preview is going to be out pretty soon and available for everyone out there to go ahead and consume. It was actually brought out on Monday for the one I did with Legend. It was a great show, great in-depth look at the Atlanta Hawks. We followed that up with the Boston Celtics, which is currently available for members right now. So you want to go ahead and become a member today. It's just $2.99 a month. Make sure you do that, or like and subscribe as well. So you get the latest notifications. But yeah, if you're a member, you've already got the Atlanta Hawks and Boston Celtics. The Atlanta Hawks is coming out soon for everyone else. Boston Celtics going to be probably another day before that happens. But then I've got us after that coming up, Brooklyn Nets. I've got 29 teams I'm going to preview with guests all around the world previewing the NBA for you. This is extra content I'm bringing to you right here at the Lakers Fast Break. And again, if you want to get that first, go ahead and check it out as a member right there for just $2.99 a month indeed. Just wanted to go ahead and say thank you for being a member, or thank you for being a part of what we're doing here at Lakers Fast Break. Again, I'm trying to bring you more content as much as I can right here at the Lakers Fast Break. Truly appreciate you joining us. Hopefully Joe has gotten the message yet, so he can jump on here in a second. Would like to see him. Of course, I know he's not the happiest guy in the world, but Gregory Bant says at this point, Dodgers got to score 10 runs to win each and every game. Starters got to pitch complete games to win. Yeah. Sam, I've been saying it all year long. And to me, as a casual baseball fan, a casual Dodgers fan, it's just something I noticed right out the get go. I saw where it was going, and their ERA was, when I first started looking at it earlier this season, was bottom 15, and then it got worse and worse. And I kept saying to Joe, the bullpen. Talk about the bullpen. Work on the bullpen is absolutely bad. I said it on the playback earlier. I said the Dodgers bullpen is like little league and you're hitting off a tee. It is that bad. It is that easy right now for the opponent. It is really, really bad. And if they don't do something to address it, put a starter there. I know that was talked about, or two during the playoffs run. It is just something that the Dodgers are going to have, probably not going to be able to go very far in the playoffs. If you can't have someone reliable coming out of that bullpen, it is not a good sign indeed, because you do need your bullpen during the course of the playoffs. So I hope that gets fixed. I hope Dave Roberts has some sort of elixir he can pour on his Dodgers bullpen, and we'll see. Again, their hitting has not been it's not been consistent either. But again, the major problem is the bullpen, in my opinion. Gregory, I'm telling you what, I led my little league in hitting. I really think I could go there right now and get some hits off of the bullpen for the Dodgers. It's that bad. It's that bad. And it's gotten worse. The problem is it's trending worse. I stopped looking at it when it was like the ERA was like in the fours. It is just that bad. And they were in the bottom 10. They might even be in the bottom 5 at this point in time. JY says, hey, G, can you see the Dodgers flipping the switch during the playoffs? They bored. From a hitting standpoint, maybe, JY, I see that, because you look at the averages for across the board for the Dodgers, they are down across the board. I do think that there may be a little bit more in there, but their bullpen is just bad. Their bullpen has just underperformed as a collective this year, all season long. And these are games now. I mean, we saw 2 games in a row where the Philadelphia Phillies, these are important games where they could have closed the gap on the Phillies and the Cubs to go ahead and at least try to see if they could lock up one of the first 2 positions in the top of the NL, and they couldn't get it done. And those 2 games that they've lost because of bad bullpen, those swing it the other way. Now they're firmly in the wild card. Now that it looks like they're going to be fighting for a wild card spot. They should still get the Western Division, the NL West, but yeah, it's just disappointing. Derek, what's up, my friend? What's up, Lakers Nation? It's been a while. Do you think the Lakers are better this year, man? Last year was heartbreaking. It was to an extent, but it's something that we on the show, Derek, to be honest with you, we saw coming, because the bench and the rotation is just so bare. The cupboard was just so bare after player number 5. There was just not many places JJ could go. And we're not giving him a pass either. He made some ill-fated decisions, but he's a rookie head coach. And that happens sometimes with the lay of the land as a rookie coach. But I really think that the fact that you have 7 players, I believe it's 7, that are playing for a new contract, Derek, I think that should get everybody pumped. It should get everybody motivated. Because of the fact that all those 7 are playing for new contracts. You got DeAndre Ayton, you've got Rui, you've got Austin, you've got Marcus Smart, you've got Jackson Hayes. There are a couple other players, Maxi Kleber, Gabe Vincent. All those guys are playing for new contracts. All those guys are playing for their NBA lives and their NBA futures. And in doing so, you will see, Derek, I'm convinced you will see a motivated team during the course of the season. Plus, Luka, Dallas Revenge Tour. With the Dallas Revenge Tour, I think Luka. I got something too as well. I got to show you that here in a sec, Joe. Wanted to wait until you came on. I was hoping dripped here too, but I think the Lakers do have a chance to be better. I'm talking about a full disclosure here on my NBA team previews. I am 22 interviews in. I've got 22 in the books right now. And I'm just going to say this: a lot of them are very optimistic on the Lakers, and that's a good sign for you guys outside, because we see, as I told them, we see everything from the standpoint of the Lakers bubble. And when you talk to people that are outside the Lakers bubble, and they're telling you that the Lakers look motivated, they look like ready to be competitive, very competitive. In some cases, people had them really high. Yeah, and you're gonna have to watch our NBA team previews to see which ones really like the Lakers or whatnot. It is encouraging to see that that's going to be the case. So I do think they'll be competitive in the West. How competitive? I still haven't put a number on it yet, but I do think that when you have so many players motivated during the regular season, they are going to help this team win games in the regular season. The question is this team deep enough for a playoff run as of now? That's the question I'm pondering. I still haven't got a finger on it yet, but it does not, compared to Denver or compared to OKC, it's still going to be a tough challenge indeed. But here today to go ahead and talk about what's going on with the Lakers is a good man indeed. A very upset man at the Dodgers bullpen once again. Good man indeed. He was on Joe Soro Experiment channel, plus also the Joe Soro Experiment channel on YouTube. Also playback.tv, of course, as well. It is Joe Soro. Joe, good to have you here. Excellent hat, my friend. And I want to wait till Drip comes in, because I hope he gets to join us tonight. He sent me something as well. And I really want to show it off for the first time to everyone out there at the same time. But Joe, great to see you, my friend. I'm sorry about the Dodgers, but as I said during the playback, I think you and I, or anyone out there, could right now hit off the tee like in Little League, and it would be the same thing as the Dodgers bullpen.
It's Groundhog's Day all the time, it seems, with the decision making. And I'm sitting there and I'm looking at 68 pitches from Shohei, and it was the most dominant 5 innings other than Yamamoto the other day and of the year. And the man hit his 50th homer, and I mean he bombed it. And I started thinking about Kershaw's perfect game. I think about Glasnow's perfect or no-hitter the other day. I don't know where baseball is right now with this Asalinics. I don't think I'm ever gonna really embrace it. You have 162 games in the year, and you have what should be the most highly tuned professional athletes, and you've catered, you've coddled, you've babied pretty much 2/3 of the season. At what point do you realize that is a detriment? It's going to at some point be a detriment to the goal. Playing scared all the time. Like, what do you think you're going to do? Turn it on in the playoffs? When does that really happen? The only time things get turned on in the playoffs is the right momentum going into the playoffs. That's it. No one turns it on in the playoffs in baseball. But regardless of momentum and all that, I'm never going to be able to embrace this soft, just scared mentality. 68 pitches. Why are you saying he's only going to go 5? For what? You need to win these games. You had a chance to maybe get the 2nd seed. Now you have to go into a wild card game against a team that is still good, even though the Mets are somewhat kind of teetering. Playing an extra series that's only 3 games, even though you're at home for all 3, is a dangerous game. Hell, the 5-game series is a dangerous game. And you will be rewarded the Phillies, even if you do get out of that wild card series. This is what happens when you play scared. I'd rather you play all out. And if things don't work out in the end, you bust a tire, so what? You busted your ass and had the worst luck. I'd rather you have bad luck than decide that I'm going to scale back and hope that everybody is ready when I guess they think they can be ready. That's a horrible philosophy. It's a soft mentality. It's weak, and I'm sick of it. And Steven Nelson, God bless him. I haven't heard the call, but I was on one of my Dodger forums before I got on air. Apparently, Steven Nelson on the radio went off on the Dodgers after the Trident 3-run homer allowance. Because I'm sitting there thinking, Doc, get Trident out of there. He can't get in the zone. Get him out of there. Bring Vesey in. Bring somebody in. If Vesia screws it up, someone else screws it up, fine. But you could clearly see Trident was done. You needed one out. You needed one out. And you had Shohei up to bat in the bottom of the ninth. You were going to get him. So just get out of this damn inning without any runs allowed. But he takes guys out when they're not done, and he leaves guys that are in there that are done. Like, what is this? Are you throwing the game? Are you getting paid? Like, if I didn't know any better, I would think he's throwing these games. 68 pitches. Okay, you said he's going to go 5. Fine, I get it. But you have two problems there with that decision. Number one, your bullpen has sucked all year. All year. Because you taxed them at the beginning of the year. And I don't want to hear about how the starters weren't healthy. Fuck that. No, shut up. Let whoever's pitching go 5 and 6 innings then. Why are you taxing your bullpen then if you're worried about it? And now that he's taxing them even more. Everything's the opposite with these these decisions. Everything's the opposite. You tax them when you shouldn't, and then you don't tax them when you should. Like, I don't understand that. I've watched every game this year. So you can't come back out with some bullshit. I've watched every game. You play scared, you create bad habits. I don't know, it's not confirmed, but EJ told me about this. He said, I think baseball called the Dodgers and said, stop with this position player pitching bullshit. All those games that you saw, and this is why I keep telling you guys. This is why I keep saying this. Okay, I'm not saying this so I can be a badass. Okay, you play weak, you play soft, you become soft. It's like that in anything in life. 18-1, 20-1, 15-2, losing at home to Houston like that, allowing that to happen, losing like that to the A's, losing like that to Miami. Oh, it doesn't matter, Joe, it's June. No, it does matter. You're seeing the result of it now. If you want to see greatness, I sent this to Jeff. We were going back and forth. Jeff met me a little bit tonight. He met my aggression. And Jeff has my aggression, but he controls it for his own sake much better than I do. Well, I wouldn't say I'm out of control. I enjoy the heat. I enjoy how I am. I'm not against it, right? But EJ prefers to be more in the comfortable, positive area most of the time. But he does let the lion out, which is my favorite part of our conversations because that's when we really click. But anyways, there's a clip of Nick Saban. They're up 45 points, and there's 8.
Okay. Joe, you with me still? Looks like we lost Joe here for a second, so hopefully we get him back in here. Again, it is the Lakers Fast Break. Truly appreciate you joining us. Joe, you with us?
That's weird. I saw what I'm seeing right now. I don't know. I didn't even know.
Okay, you're ping and pong. Yeah, you're ping ponging all over the place. You're good. You're good.
Okay. I don't know how much you heard. What was the last thing you heard?
As far as just the decision making by Dave Roberts.
So you didn't hear the last 60 seconds?
No.
Fuck. Playing soft, playing not to lose. There's a clip of Nick Saban screaming at his team. They're up 45 points with 8 seconds left in the game, and they're not a nickel. I would highly recommend you watch that. Highly recommend you watch that clip of Nick Saban going nuts with 8 seconds left, up 45 points, because his team wasn't in the nickel package on defense. That's greatness. That's the greatness I support.
Okay.
You never stop. And what were the results with that mentality for Nick Saban? 7 national championships. Unbelievable football games. Even the games that he lost were epic wins. I was there for the last one, and I was hurting. I was happy for my family, but I was hurting for my guy because he could have went out with number 8, had Milroe just had a shred of a little bit of intelligence in some of those games, some of those plays. But I don't want this anymore. I don't want it. I'm gonna keep watching. I'm a Dodger fan for life. Drip Show, my boy.
Drip Show's in the house?
Yeah, he's in the house.
There you go.
Drip
Okay.
This
Go
is
ahead, dude.
even to the hats, guys. The shirts are bomb. The posters are bomb, and then the hats are even bomb. My boy,
well, speaking
Chris.
of that, Joe, I want to show you something when you're finished. I'll let you finish your statement on the Dodgers, and I've got a big thank you to Drip Show coming up here in a second.
My boy, Chris, the illustrator, the instructor, the designer. You can call him whatever moniker you want, but he's got the best gear in the game, and I will forever support Drip Show and Chris.
Exactly, me too.
And we will make him known before it's all said and done. So again, Chris, thanks for the gear. The gear fits well, looks well, and looking forward to seeing more as we go on here.
But finish up on your Dodger stuff, man. So you want to keep you going on that.
I'm not. I've seen enough. It's been 10 seasons. It's been 10 seasons, and I'm seen enough. I think there would have to be a massive 180-degree difference. But I don't see that happening. I don't know who the solution is. That's probably where the pain hurts. Like there used to be a time where you're like, ooh, go get Davey Johnson. Ooh, go get Joe Torre. And those guys sort of worked, or at least Joe Torre took the Dodgers to a couple NLCS appearances with horrible ownership, of course. But if they were to make a change, it's got to be something different. It can't be status quo. It can't be just another stooge in there just listening to analytics. There's got to be something. There's got to be a manager out there that can inspire. That is not analytical. That should not be part of that. The mentality of a team, the guile, the moxie is not being tapped into. Otherwise, what is the point of the leader of the clubhouse, the locker room? What is the leader? What is the job of Phil Jackson in his prime? I know it was easy with Michael. I know it was easy with Kobe. Those guys were so freaking talented. I get it. But at the same time, sometimes it's harder to handle the egos. Would you say that?
Yeah.
A lot of times it's much harder than to do that, right? Larry Brown coached the little engines that could. But the moment he was coaching somebody like Allen Iverson, it was butting heads, right? It didn't work it didn't work out in the end for him to win a title or create a dynasty, right? So I don't know who that guy is. If it's Chase Utley, I don't know. Chase Utley definitely has the demeanor that I love as a player. Can he bring it into a clubhouse? Can he bring it into a dugout? Does he?
Yeah.
Would he command that respect? Would he be able to influence the mental part of the players? Would he be able to talk to management who do all the setups on the computer and say, I can't take Shohei out after 5. He's only got 68 pitches. I'm going to let him go to 7 because our bullpen is struggling, and I just would rather have them only pitch 6 outs instead of 12 outs. We saw what I would consider historical games pissed away because of bad decisions by management. Yamamoto allows a home run on the last out. Can you let him finish? You don't think he can pitch another 5 or 10 pitches to get one more out? The game was 4-1. So let him, for the next 2 batters, let him see if he can get. Are they all going to hit home runs? Probably not. See if he can finish the game. No, he allows a home run. They take him out right away. It's like, dude, you already are struggling to close out games. Just let the guy that has been pitching amazing. He pulled a Kevin Cash. Kevin Cash, Game 6, 2020 World Series. I always say this, and I'll always stand by it. Kevin Cash turned into Dave Roberts, taking Snell out after the 6th inning. Management or not, or analytical or not, you have to make a completely different decision when it matters. 1 hit. And this is what these guys do. And then when they're struggling, they don't do shit. They just let them sit there and die. Tanner Scott, put him in there at the worst time to die. Put Blake Triton in there. Can't hit the damn zone. Let him die. You know what you saw today? You know what you saw today from the Phillies? Robinson was the relief pitcher. Thompson took him out after 3 batters. He was struggling. Took him out. Oh, he's struggling. I'm taking him out. Why don't you do that with your guys? What? They're all doing the same shit, right? All the analytical stuff? No. Thompson is the coach of the Phillies, by the way, in case you guys don't know. Robinson was the relief pitcher. So why are they doing it? Why aren't you? Aren't you all doing the analytics bullshit? Or maybe Thompson said, fuck this. I'm not losing this game. They ended up tying it. That's it, which was the kiss of death. The Dodgers needed to get a lead there, and they pissed it away. Bases loaded, 1 out, couldn't get another fucking run. Well, they got a run to tie it, and then it was first and second. Anyways, I'm just, I don't know. I'm never going to relate to soft, weak. I'm never going to relate to soft, weak, try not to lose mentality. And if you're going to come here and tell me that's not what's going on, you're fucking blind. And I don't give a shit what you're saying. I don't care because the results is all the proof I need. And logic needs. I'm a logical thinker. As much as it hurts in certain instances, I still put my head down and say, shit, this is the way it has to be. Logic wins. Results wins above any of your feelings, above any of your excuses, especially when it's a problem that consistently happens all the time. When are you going to change it? Once in a while, okay. Yes, 162 game season, shit happens. You take a chance, it happens. But when you self-induce the issue, now it's you. So the Dodgers need to make a decision here. You had one of the best off seasons on paper that I've ever seen. You stacked this team with depth, with pitching, everything. To do what? To still play soft? Why?
Soro says, is the coach, in this case, the manager, is the manager playing? Is Soro Alpha's response.
No, he's not playing, but there's a track record of bad decisions no matter who's pitching, no matter who's hitting. This isn't a, oh man, we have a really bad lineup here that can't keep things together. This has been a Dave Roberts special for a very long time. And he's had spurts where it wasn't there. Oh yeah, I blame the players. Sure I do. But the players, Tanner Scott's not being put in these situations. Dave Roberts is putting him in those situations. Dave Roberts is taking Yamamoto out when he just allowed one hit the entire game. Can't let him finish. Roberts is taking Shohei out with 68 pitches tonight. What would have been one of the all-time great games, by the way. No hitter going into the fifth, 68 pitches. If he was cruising, he probably could have gotten to 80, 85 pitches to finish a couple more innings. The bottom of the lineup was going to come up to the sixth. He had his guy. The player did his job. The guys scored their runs. But who screwed up the process? The decision maker in the dugout. Taking the guy that was balling, taking him out early, and putting in guys that have been struggling. You have the guy in there. He obviously is struggling. Robleski was struggling. Didn't take him out then. Let him sit there to die. Trident couldn't get in the zone. Let him sit there to die. I just told you, every time it's the opposite thing. That is the manager deciding that. Why? Why are you doing that? Does someone like Chase Utley change that? Because I've been hearing the name Chase Utley. I don't know. I think something different needs to be in there, though. I really think so. Chase Utley is definitely someone that I don't think I would see as a soft type guy. That guy is like nails. Dave Roberts is soft. He's soft even when he's good. He's a soft person. He's nice. I fucking hate nice. Okay, I love Chuck Noll. I love Nick Saban. I love the Bill Belichick's. I love Bill Cowher. I don't give a fuck about nice. I care about results. And if you're not going to win it all, that's not possible to win it all the time, there is a difference when you're giving it all and squeeze it as much as you can. All those years, Gerald, when Bill Cowher was losing in the AFC Championship games, he was called a choker in the big games. I thought that was unfair considering the situation. The guy went to the AFC Championship game with guys like Neil O'Donnell, went to the Super Bowl with guys like Neil O'Donnell, went to the AFC Championship games with Cordell Stewart, went to the AFC Championship game with a rookie quarterback, and then won a Super Bowl the following year. Imagine if you had Big Ben for his 15-year career. Probably would have had 3 or 4 Super Bowls. There was a difference. You could see it. That's why I never was ever upset. The years that they didn't go to the playoffs in 1998, 1999, and 2000, the Steelers never signed big contracts to their big free agents at that point. It was very rare. They let Chad Brown go. They let Rod Woodson go. They let Carnell Lake go. Like the team was depleted of their stars and their talent because the Steelers couldn't afford to pay them. So when you factor those things in, when you don't win, it makes sense. This team is stacked. Depth, money, superstars, guys that had won. So what is it then? Where do you want me to go to explain why this is happening other than the people calling the shots? It's your responsibility. You're screwing this up, and I'm seeing it happening. What are you saving Shohei for? He started pitching 2 months ago. You had him out for 3 months. What are you saving him for? You have to get out of this rut that you put yourself in. You had a chance. Win the game. Create some positiveness, some confidence. Now it's shit again, even after yesterday's game.
Once again, it is the Lakers Fast Break. It is, of course, Joe Soro along with me, Gerald Glassford. Thanks again for watching, listening. The Dodgers, again, they are now in 4th place in the NL after tonight's loss. 2nd loss in a row in late innings to the Philadelphia Phillies. So we will see how they close out the season. But I wanted Joe to get that off his chest because, again, just so frustrating to see the way the Dodgers are handling their bullpen at this point in time. Just so many different questions throughout the season on what's going on there, especially. But hopefully they will regroup in time and get you guys back up. But I can tell you, Joe, on a day where it's usually a tough one for me, it's an anniversary of a tough day in my life with my father passing away on this day several years ago, actually back in 2008. I got a little surprise that made my day on what is normally a tough day. So you got your hat, my friend. Well, I'll tell you what, Drip Show outdid himself. I'm 56 years old, Joe. I've seen a lot. I've been through a lot. I've done a lot, and I've heard a lot in my life. Rarely do I get surprised or am I overwhelmed. And I'll tell you what, on a day where I really needed it, boy, did I get it. At Drip Show, I am eternally grateful for what you did because I got this. You said, "Can I send you something?" And I said, "Yes." And I didn't make anything of it when you said it about a week ago, and I'm like, "Okay." So I opened this. I got this big, tall box right outside my door. Joe, wait till you see this. Wait till you guys see this. This was awe-inspiring. My whole family was just, wow. Wow, wow. And I'm going to show it to you guys now. For those on audio, it is basically just go to Drip Show on Instagram, follow him, take a look at his work. Please, if you're interested in buying any of the designs or a custom design that he does today, like this. This is a representative of the old Sega Genesis games, and it has the LFB logo on the bottom. Truly, truly overwhelming. I rarely do I get emotional, but man, I was at a loss. At Drip Show, I cannot tell you how overwhelmed I am with your kindness in doing this, and it's a tribute to you, the fine work, and I've never received a gift from the audience as gracious as this, and I'm truly thankful for it. But I'm going to go ahead and make sure I post this in the notes on our YouTube page and our social media, and I want to make sure I get a plug out there for you, Drip Show, as best I can, because doing this for me is just absolutely incredible, Joe. Absolutely incredible. You've got your hat from Drip Show right there. I got something truly special indeed. I'm going to be hanging this behind me, so you guys will be seeing it on a regular basis. I'm just going to figure out how or where. My oldest daughter, comes up to me, "Yep, looks like we're going to have to redesign the old office there, Dad." I said, yeah, indeed. But man, this was overwhelming, Joe. Look at this, man. Just like the old Sega, the NBA games on the Sega Genesis, man. That was, I'm at a loss, Joe. I'm at a loss. A guy like me, when you put a guy like me speechless, it just says it all. Yeah, it's
that silhouette should have been, well, not silhouette, but that picture should have been Kobe's statue. that shot.
There's
right
one
there.
more to go, Joe. There's one more to go.
I hope that's what it is, because that shot is as iconic in my mind as any Kobe shot. I know the one on the 81 was big, but it doesn't show well in a statue. This would show well in a statue. That's why action statues are better in terms of aesthetic. When you look at Shaq dunking, why it looks good, with Kareem with his sky hook. You look at Elgin Baylor with his kind of side, which is my favorite statue there. It's the Elgin Baylor kind of lean. Obviously, with Jerry West's logo pose. I prefer an action shot like that, and I'm hoping that it's going to be something like this on the third statue.
This is just truly overwhelming. Drip Show, from the bottom of my heart, man. Thanks. I cannot thank you enough.
I already have a Kobe poster. Alpha, hold on.
If you come by Vegas, I got dinner, my friend. I got dinner. Dinner's on me. So this is just truly overwhelming. That your kindness to both Joe and I has been truly awe-inspiring. So let me put it to you this way, Joe. There were times that, with the fan response we get and all the haters and all that stuff, it gets tiring sometimes. But when you see stuff like this, people spend money and send this to us. They go to great efforts and hard work to do this for us, not just because they're advertising it for themselves, but they're doing it because they appreciate what we do. I am truly indebted to. This is the reason why we do the show, is because the kindness that a lot of you out there, the majority of you out there, show to us. And this is just truly incredible. And please, if you guys are looking for any type of custom gifts for this holiday season, I cannot stress to you enough, you need to seek out Drip Show. I will put it in the description. I'm putting in the description for my shows going forward, on all my shows going forward for Drip Show. Please support him. Please go ahead and follow him on Instagram. Please go ahead. And if you do need custom gifts, reach out to him. Reach out to him, because to put this quality of work into this is truly amazing in 2025. And I cannot say enough. Yes, 805. I have been known to be generous or kind if you come and see me here in Las Vegas. So again, Drip Show, you come to Vegas, man, dinner's on me. Absolutely. So man, I was just overwhelmed, Joe. Overwhelmed. Absolutely overwhelmed.
It is artistry at its best.
Oh, indeed. Absolutely.
It's artistry that's attached to the personalities of the hosts. I think that's the part that I think Chris got right. And
just had to move up here. Sorry, guys.
Sure. It's
Kurt. You always have to ruin the mood, Kurt.
Where's Kurt?
Gerald will take you to a gentleman's club of your choice in Vegas, Chris. No.
Why am I not seeing that? Oh, there we go. Okay.
Fair.
Hey, Chris was, and the other thing is, Chris was a even better host at spring
Kurt,
training.
if you come to Vegas, I'm going to trick you. I'm going to take you to one of the comedy clubs, and then I'm going to get them to call your name and say you need to go up on stage, because you're hella funny, my friend. You are as good as any of the regulars that are here in Vegas. I'm just going to say that. But Drip, cannot thank you enough again, for the bottom of my heart, man. Just overwhelmed indeed. But that has got to put you in a better mood, Joe. You see that quality on Joe's hat right there? Drip Show right there in the Dodgers motif. Dirk, that isn't so hard to see nowadays. He threw 3 last time. That was his career high. I think he'll try for a 4 next time. I don't want to take him to go somewhere that's depressing. So I'll leave it.
The problem with I don't remember Gino playing that bad for.
That's his worst game ever.
It was bad. He was missing his reads. He had so much time on some of those throws. I'm like, what is he doing? I know Bowers was open somewhere. Bowers should have had 12 catches last night.
Should've.
And
I
not trying to.
I was way ahead. I almost lost my money league because of he did throw to Bowers.
It was
Meyer.
bad. Chargers are, again, Harbaugh's a good coach. You can't deny that. They're getting better, but the Raiders had a shot to win that game, and I don't know what Gino looked depressed. He looked absolutely devastated on the sidelines. I hope he can get out of it. He's had one of the more unique careers. It's almost like a little bit of a version of a Brooke Lopez in terms of the renaissance out of nowhere, where Brooke Lopez all of a sudden became a defensive stalwart and started hitting threes. Geno Smith was a backup for 6 years? And then all of a sudden he started playing well in Seattle. Weird career. And he was really good at West Virginia. Really good. I mean, he was throwing 6 touchdown passes in games.
Sometimes
over there.
It's about opportunities, and he finally got it and made the most of it, but
kind
of fell off.
Kind of like Rich Gannon. He's kind of like this generation's Rich Gannon in a lot of ways. Not as good, but that's kind of how his career went. But you could tell he was devastated. I felt bad for him. I really did. I felt bad for Gino. I hope it's not something for things to come, because Pete Carroll's a good coach too. But they're going to have to see what's going on. I thought he was maybe hurt or something, because it didn't make any sense at how bad he was playing. I don't know. And I Khalil Mack, watching his arm turn into a pogo stick going the opposite way was not nice either. Yeah. I think he's done for the year. That arm is messed up. There's no way that arm didn't tear every ligament in that elbow.
So let's get into it as far as from the Lakers standpoint. As I do, that right around the corner, Joe, is training camp. And one of the things we talk, Luka, we talk about the free agents, we talk the pending free agents, we talk about all the other stuff, indeed, as far as the rotation is concerned. But when we mentioned Jarred Vanderbilt, we're kind of like pass over him. And you and I, we talk about Vando Hill a lot, kind of in jest, but it's kind of a thing. You're either on or off Vando Hill. You're either supportive of what he has done and see him as a truly big part of the Lakers puzzle this season, or you see him as someone that, quite frankly, he had a terrible season last season. He's just someone that is offensively very challenged, and if his defense isn't at an elite level, it's really hard to keep him out on the court. And I've been thinking about a lot about that, as far as the Jarred Vanderbilt question per se, for past week or so, when I'm talking to some of these people around the country, Joe, and around the world, actually, in some cases, in regards to these teams, because they've often cited him in these conversations. And again, if you haven't seen my Atlanta or Boston team previews, they're available now for members, and they'll be going live here soon for everyone else. His name often gets cited as far as what they think and evaluate him. But when you look at it closely, Joe, you and I saw the deficiencies that were there. He did have, to his credit, that he was coming off the season before that he had the double foot surgery. And I understand that a lot of people will point to that as the reason why he struggled so badly last year. Okay, I will give them that as far as a little bit of that. But when we saw other parts of his game go, his shooting is still not there. His hands in catching the ball, Joe, that didn't get a double surgery. His hands as you're catching the ball were just absolutely terrible last year, inexcusable. When we first got him, we thought we saw, somebody that was on the rise, somebody that could be like a poor man's, like in Minnesota Timberwolves. The guy in Minnesota escapes me right now. Oh God, I'm gonna go look at him right now. But it just I just saw things in him when we first traded for him that said, you know what, we're gonna go ahead and see if this guy really can go ahead and reach his potential. And in doing so, Joe, I just seen him regress, and he did get the injury. At the time he got the surgery, the double foot surgery, he also got that extension. Jaden McDaniels. I saw him, potentially as a poor man's Jaden McDaniels, but he just, I don't know, coming back now 2 years from that, 2 seasons from that double foot surgery, if he can be that guy, because you and I were just so disenchanted with what we saw last season from Jarred Vanderbilt.
Jarred Vanderbilt doesn't have the slow down mental game for moments that matter. Moments that matter in a game. Getting the ball with pressure coming, getting the ball in a spot where he may have resistance. And then, of course, it's magnified even more in the playoffs. Notice he helps the Lakers win regular season games, but when the playoffs come, he's absolutely neutralized and useless.
Yeah.
So I don't think about Jarred Vanderbilt when I think about this roster. And I think you guys have noticed that. I have mentioned so many things besides Jarred Vanderbilt. I don't even consider him on the team sometimes in my thoughts. He will play a role, but physical issues is not the issue with Vanderbilt. It's the inability to do what this team really, really needs on a consistent basis, which is someone who can play defense and have the occasional dunker spot handled a little bit. I'm not expecting him to be shooting threes. That's not, I think it's unreasonable if you expected that. That's not his game. But what I wish he could do is catch a basketball 2 feet away from the basket, 1 foot away from the basket, and be in 6'8" with long arms that you can at least dunk the ball at that point and not be scared. I'd like that. I think that's a reasonable ask for an NBA player, isn't it?
It is, especially someone who did at the time, just before his double foot surgery, got that extension, which I believe there are still two more seasons after this one, if I'm not mistaken. Or am I? I'm going to look that up right now, but I think it is 2 more seasons after this one, Joe. And that's the thing, because for a team that's trying to maximize their cap space for the summer of 26 and 27, it's only 11, 12, and $13 million when he picks up the 27-28 season contract on that. But it's something there where, you know what, it's only 7% of the cap, but is he even giving you that as far as overall? It's just concerning to see that he is almost a non-entity on the offensive end, Joe.
Yeah, it's just what it is. That he's just not that guy. He's supposed to be the Dennis Rodman of the team. Defense, try to get rebounds, and then on occasion catch the ball into the rim or whatever and score a few points if he can. But he's just not effective when it matters. That's the worst part. I don't care about Jarred Vanderbilt. I don't think about him. If he can help, cool. If he doesn't help, I'm already expecting him to not do what needs to get done. And if they go into the playoffs again this year with him being part of the rotation, good luck. I don't think he'll last long.
That's the problem, though. But that's the problem, though, Joe, because, again, the Lakers had one of the worst benches in the league last season. And some of these analysts that I hear national that are talking on the podcast, or if they come on my show as part of my NBA team previews and they talk about him in a positive light, it's like, I'm not sure they see the everyday part of it when it comes to Jarred Vanderbilt. The cracks start to show through pretty strongly when you take a look at him. And like you said, in the playoffs, every playoff series or every playoff year, I should say, that he's been in, there have been at least a more than one occasion where he's been exploited and played off the floor because of his various weaknesses in his game. Whether, in Denver, like, okay, he wasn't great on offense, but his defense was limited because he just wasn't getting around the screens well enough and was always being screened off in the Denver series, and then in other series after that, he has just not been a factor. And Jamie Sweet kind of was seeing things probably a little bit better and a little bit differently than he has in the past, because when I brought it up at the Lakerholics show this past weekend, he didn't seem too negative on the prospect of me involving him in a Laker Tom style trade to Miami, for instance. That was an extension off the Wiggins Powell trade discussion that we were talking about from before. But he wasn't too against it like he was as far as so high on Vanderbilt in all this time. EJ, who you talked about, has been very high on Jarred Vanderbilt. And I would like to be where he's at. I just can't find myself doing it because, again, there's just so many limitations to his game that have not been improved upon. It seems like in many ways it's regressed, and that's really, really the problem, Joe. And he's now in his 8th year, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
Sometimes there's a heartstring to certain players for whatever reason.
He's been in the league for a while.
It's just that's what it is. There could be a soft spot for certain people on certain players, no matter how bad it is. It's not out of the realm of normal things.
1, 2, 3.
I just don't think about Jarred Vanderbilt.
But the problem is, who are you going to think about? Because they're the Lakers. I could count 7 consistent players they could throw out there. I mean, we have to have more.
No, they're gonna run a 10-man rotation during the year. That's usually how it works, and he'll be part of it. But my concern will be, can you get 7 solid players? Uh-huh. And that 7th player has to be a backup center. That's what's going to happen in the playoffs. I can stretch it to 8, but I think we're asking for a lot there. The Lakers need 7 solid players going into the playoffs. And they need a backup center to make sure that DeAndre Ayton isn't playing 48 minutes a game, because you're not going to be able to play Jackson Hayes much. Can you find a backup center that can hold his own for about 20 minutes a game during the playoffs? Maybe 18 to 16.
I'm sorry. I apologize, Joe. I don't mean to be laughing at what you're saying. I'm not. It's because Sports Baby mixed up Robert Redford and Robert Streisand.
I know. Mark is absolutely destroying him right now. And Vari, you need to, seriously, man.
Rest in peace, Robert Redford.
Slap your face
really great.
while you're looking in the mirror just once for that one. Barbara Streisand, really? They look nothing alike, by the way. Robert Redford and Streisand do not look alike at all. That's like saying me and Gerald look alike. There's zero look alike.
Great movie star and Robert Redford.
Robert Redford was one of the. I mean, when you build a movie star, that's probably the mold.
Yeah, I would agree. I was telling my daughters more about him and what he meant to the movie industry in the mid to late 60s, 70s, and then early 80s.
Dude, he was still trucking with the Marvel movies.
Luka says he wants to play stretch 5 according to Best League with Kleber instead of Vando as a 4. Well, again, Vando is going to be a problem because he's still got 3 years left on his contract. And if Luka doesn't want to play with them, you're going to have to find a way to get rid of him, because
who said that?
It is Best League supposedly.
Best League. Luka wants to play a stretch 5. When the hell did he say that?
He says Kleber wants to play. I think he meant Kleber wants to play. I don't give a shit
what Kleber wants. Kleber's done. Kleber's washed. What do I give a shit what Kleber says? If you think Kleber's going to be doing anything with this team, you're out of your mind. Kleber is done. Done like a used dish rag.
I'll say this, Best League, is that Kleber looked washed the past almost 3 seasons in Dallas. They couldn't wait to get rid of him. Just talk to Frank. Frank, when he shoves on the chat, He's a big Dallas fan. Yeah, just to ask him about Maxi Kleber because you could see by his stats he looked washed these past 2 seasons.
Was Streisand a Facebook death? Supposedly Vujicic was.
Oh, now we're just going off the chain, man.
Oh, because I saw the post. Barbara Streisand
Yeah.
died. I'm like, what the hell are you talking about, Vari? She didn't die. Oh, she was in a picture with Robert Redford. I'm like, what the fuck? And then Mark came in with. Oh, I could feel Mark's responses. Like I can feel like I'm there. Like I can hear him.
I love you,
in my
Vari.
head.
Nothing but love for you, Vari.
I can hear him when he's typing it, like with the irritation. That's what makes this funny.
Got nothing for love for you, Vari. I mean, just
yeah. Ruben has a good response. The natural got mixed up with Mrs. Fokker. Oh man!
All right. Lay off Vari, man. Just all right.
What do you mean lay off Vari? No, he created that whole all by himself. He's got to now. He's got to put the dirt on himself now to plug it up. Well, Wiggins, the Wiggins trade is two problems with the Wiggins trade. Number one, I don't think Pat Riley is just going to take anything. And I'm weary of Miami trades or Miami players, even though Wiggins technically isn't really much of a Miami guy. He's there, half a season?
Yeah.
But if they can get Wiggins for their expiring contracts, that's a good deal, even though I'm not a fan of Wiggins. But, man, he could help. He would help. Help.
Vander, it's just like money sitting there though, and that's the problem. The Lakers again.
There's always one contract that's shitty on a team. It's just that he's the guy. He's the guy now. It's always one. It was Luke Walton before. It was Luol Deng before that. It's always a contract. Mozgov didn't stay there long enough for it to be a problem. But Luol Deng was like, even they have to stretch him to get that AD deal done, right? They have to stretch him. So not only was the contract a pain in the ass, they have to stretch it even more beyond the 4 years so that they can make sure they can get what they needed. There's always one. They're only on right now. Vanderbilt's that guy.
Who else is cheaper? Dante's asking that can do what Wiggins do out there. Now remember, he's being paid this season 27 and next year 30.
I'd say Gary Payton Jr. if he's on, but he's never on all the time.
He's going to pick up. Again, he's not healthy. He's going to return back to Golden State once that issue with Kuminga is freed up, but he is expected to sign with Golden State here in a matter of days. Sports Theory says, keep cooking. I did myself. No worries, SB. No worries. But again, Vando, from the standpoint, the Lakers have got to find some sort of consistency this season off the bench. They have to. And Marcus Smart, obviously playing for a new contract, playing for the rest of his career, quite frankly, this upcoming season. And Jake LaRavia coming in with a lot of potential. He's on a 2-year, $12 million deal, not expensive at all. But a lot of people, that I've talked to seem to be kind of high on Jake LaRavia as far as what he may be able to do for the team. So the thing is, I'm just, like you said, you say we need a backup center because Jackson Hayes has not been the answer. It just the options for us. You talk about Bronny, and we joke. Bronny to us is still more of a inside joke than anything. Dalton Connect he can't connect. Has not been connecting. That's the problem. His mind has been on another planet since the trade happened, and it just seems like it's not getting back anytime soon. So where do the Lakers find any consistency beyond man number 7? That's the problem. Gabe Vincent, he's in the final year. He may be the only one that has a chance to do something consistent this season from that vantage point, from the rest of the guys that are left.
I don't think they're going to want to trade Highsmith. Who was it that said that? Gregory? I don't think Pat Riley wants to get rid of him.
Highsmith has already gone to Brooklyn, by the way.
Oh, he went to Brooklyn?
They dumped
Oh, yeah,
him
he did.
about
Yeah.
3 weeks ago to Brooklyn.
Oh, he did.
Dump.
That's right. I totally forgot about that.
But guys, listen up. They've got 19 players right now on the roster, 15 fully contracted and 4 with partial or non-guarantees in Brooklyn. So keep an eye on that. They might want to trade or let go some of those guys, and the Lakers might pick up. They have a spot on the roster, so the Lakers might be able to pick someone up there for cheap if you're into Highsmith or something like that. So just keep an eye out there for what might go on with that. But again, Jarred Vanderbilt, we'll see how that goes. I don't have much faith as far as him finding consistency on either of the court, and especially because his forte, Joe, was the defensive end. And if he can at least come in, give you 10 to 15 minutes of really good defense, that could go a long way on this defensively challenged Lakers team.
It's too much mystery on how this is going to play out because we don't know what's out there right now. There's nothing out there to really gauge, okay, there might be something available by December 15th. There might be something available by February 15th, whenever the deadline is. The Lakers are going to go into the season with the starters pretty much solidified. You know it's going to be LeBron. You know it's going to be Luka. You know it's going to be Reeves, Rui, and DeAndre Ayton. That you know for a fact. And then you're gonna have guys like LaRavia. You're gonna have guys like Marcus Smart, Jackson Hayes, Jarred Vanderbilt. Those likely are going to be the 9 guys that are going to be playing on a day-to-day. How that ends, will it end with those same guys? I'm gonna go on. I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say the Lakers are probably going to make a move in February for something, and I don't know who's going to want to trade value at that point because they don't see anything on the horizon for their playoff hopes. And it hasn't really been a good one the last couple of years anyways. It just seems like most of these teams are not really trading anybody that big unless that player wants to leave. We have to wait this out. We have to wait this out.
Luka. Well, Luka's the only one that didn't want to leave, and look.
Yeah. The Luka one, I don't even put into that category because it was so astronomically crazy and unique. I'm talking more role type players that are going to ascend or help a team get over the hump. The Luka trade AD is not that trade. That was a shape-shifting trade for 2 franchises, which is very rare at a deadline. Usually the deadline is supposed to get reinforcements because you're making a move for the playoffs or a title run, or you're doing it because let me get out of these contracts and let me see if I can get some draft capital for it. Yeah, so that's where the Lakers sit. The Lakers need maybe one more guy that could be a difference maker come playoff time on this team, and it would need to be someone that's somewhat of a defender and a threat behind the arc, and can play within the confines of a team like this. However, if you get that guy, my guess is one of the starters would likely need to go on to the bench, and I'm looking at Austin Reeves, because you need that defender in the playoffs. Austin Reeves has been shown that he can't do that in the playoffs. So if the Lakers want to win a championship, and with some luck, Marcus Smart can handle the guard area on defense, you might need someone in the forward position that can hold his own. That would be the way to go in a playoff run. That would be what would help LeBron and Luka and obviously DeAndre Ayton in the starting lineup. So imagine that for a second. It's a positionless league now, right? So you can put LeBron at the 2, you can put him at the 3, you can put him at the 4, depending on matchups, however that works out. Either way, you need 2 of those guys in important spots in those games that can hold their own against the opponents that are freakishly good at shooting the ball, freakishly good at getting to the basket. Something that the Lakers have not been able to do because Austin Reeves isn't capable of doing it. And obviously LeBron isn't capable of doing it. So you have your 3 and your 2 guys. Would you say that LeBron's been playing the 3 while Rui's in there? Technically?
Yes.
Okay. So the 2 and 3 guys, the 2 and 3 positions are the 2 areas where that's where you get your elite athletes, the scoring guard position and the small forward position. You need 2 defenders that can hold their own in those positions. And then you can go a long way from there.
But we will see what happens when it comes to Jarred Vanderbilt. But please, we want to hear your thoughts on exactly, where you think Jarred Vanderbilt can contribute, and if you think he can contribute in a way that's really going to be beneficial for this team, or are you hoping he could be packaged and sent elsewhere? So because his contract, the rest of his contract, is not just going to be something that the Lakers are going to be able to utilize well for the player standpoint going forward. So yeah, we want to hear your thoughts on that. Please let us know in the comments, but we're really happy to hear from you on that. But before we head out, Jeremy was asking, and we're going to go ahead and get everyone updated again. Not much new other than what was said last week as far as the Kawhi Leonard saga. The additional information that was put out there. In fact, I heard even more about how Ballmer from The Athletic reported that Ballmer put in an additional $10 million into aspiration. This is all just getting a little messier and a little messier and a little stinkier and a little stinkier, Joe, when it comes down to it. And I understand Adam Silver's comments last week where they want to find something definitively wrong. They want a smoking gun. The CBA says it just needs to be circumstantial for evidence that's detrimental to the league in regards to circumventing the cap. It does not need to be specific smoking gun involved. So it looks like, from what he said last week, again, you can take it for what it's worth, but it looked like just something the way he said it was, he was already trying to find an out for the Clippers out of all this. If that happens and nothing or very little happens to Kawhi, Uncle Dennis, and the Clippers, how big of a disappointment would that be? What kind of message do you think is going to be sent by the league if they do that?
It sounds like Adam Silver is going to have to just kind of go with his gut and say, "We know what you were doing. I don't need this isn't court. I don't need circumstantial evidence, right?"
He just needs circumstantial. It doesn't need to be definitive.
Well,
he doesn't need a smoking gun.
I'm not feeling like there's going to be, at least at this moment, I don't feel like I'm feeling a big punishment. Big punishment would be something drastic. Suspension for 2 years for Ballmer and then voiding Kawhi's contract for the next 2 years. That would be, you would never have anybody do this again if he did something like that. But I don't think the Players Association would allow it either, because that's $100 million that they're taking away from Kawhi. At least from the evidence that I'm hearing now. Is it enough? I don't know.
It's some shady stuff, man, going on.
I told you before. The problem with this is they are connected. Correct. This setup is correct.
It's all connected in there.
It's connected. So common sense tells you shit happened. and it happened, and it influenced his decision, and you diluted you circumvented the cap. You paid this guy more money in a different way than you were allowed to. You just used another source. And whether somebody did it before or not is irrelevant. I don't want to hear that shit. I haven't heard of anything like this until now, even if it was happening. Usually you hear something. I haven't heard shit about some ownership signing someone and then finding out that they gave them a salary in some way in some construction company. I've never heard anything like that. It's the first time I've heard something like this. What was the Joe Smith thing? What did they do with that? It wasn't anything like this.
It was actually more. There was a smoking gun because they did find on the owner, Glenn Taylor, his desk. They found the contracts, the 3 1 years for a limited amount, because they were trying to circumvent the cap because they wanted the bird rights for him, right? So so they gave him 3 1-year contracts, I think, for a less than value market for a guy like that salary, and then they gave him like a 4-year, $86 million deal, something right around there, on top of it as a sweetener. So when they would be able, when he goes to free agency in that year, after his 3rd year, he would have been able to go ahead and collect already that. And those were, I guess, those contracts were already signed and on Glenn Taylor's desk, which was the smoking gun right there. So they could put it all together. So they did initially take 5 first-round draft picks away. It was arbitrated down to 3. They suspended Taylor for a year and voided the salary of Smith, and he couldn't re-sign with the Timberwolves and all that. So there is a precedent for something like that. I think that, people have been going back and forth, which is more serious. I think this is more serious because of the fact that it seems blatant on a it seems like there's more than one person coordinating in this effort, Joe. This isn't just a handshake agreement or something done as far as signed in an office or whatnot between just a limited amount of people. This seems like a coordinated effort between the upper hierarchy in the owners and the minority owner of the Clippers. The money they were funneling to this aspiration company, which itself was, I don't want to say a Ponzi scheme, but was a fraud, because the high-ranking members of this organization have both been convicted for fraud. And then the money coming out of this organization was essentially going to Kawhi, even when they were firing and laying off other employees as the company was going under. They were still making sure they were paying Kawhi on top of it. And again, I think what would be a smoking gun is if one of these employees that are supposedly spoken to and have had 2 go on camera, but they've had their face distorted and their voice distorted, so you can't see their likenesses. If one of those people, or any of them, can finger an exact moment that says that Ballmer or was it Dennis Wong, I think, or the minority owner of the Clippers, or someone high up in the Clippers organization, specifically saying it was to circumvent the cap, even though all of an aspiration, those employees all said that the word around the office was that they were told it was to circumvent the cap. If they finger who that was that said it, there's your smoking gun.
Damage is done. The only thing left now is in Adam Silver's mind, is this something that could set a precedent that it'll never happen again? If he wants that, he's got to bring the hammer down. Because this benefited, well, I shouldn't say it benefited the Clippers, really. The Oklahoma City Thunder benefited from this more than anyone, and the Lakers got screwed out of this more than anyone. Not the Clippers. The Clippers always clip. We know that. But imagine if they didn't do this, if it is what it is, Kawhi Leonard would have been a Laker. And we would be talking about the Lakers sitting on probably 19 championships right now. And I don't think it's registered to a lot of Laker fans in that everybody's focused on the problem. I'm like, what they did was they paid him more money elsewhere to come to the Clippers. In the end, it wasn't about Paul George. It was about, oh, well, they got me Paul George too, but they also hooked me up with more money. Enough money to cover the taxes that I'm going to be making or have to pay being in LA, right? Being in California. And the sound of the laying everybody off but still paying Kawhi. Privilege, huh? It's funny how we label privilege to certain people out there. And then when you find out about some of the jackholes that yap about privilege, I don't know if there's more privilege than that.
Again, they don't need to be exact. If it's circumstantial evidence that they can find that makes it look like it's cap circumvention, and that is detrimental to the league, and obviously this has been detrimental to the league, you need to squelch this now, Joe. You need to send a definitive message. Otherwise, guess what? A lot more teams are going to do this. As I said before, Joe, I would be naive to say that no other team in sports is doing something like this, because there is probably another team in sports somewhere, whether it's Major League Baseball, NBA, NFL, or European soccer, somewhere, some team is doing this to try and circumvent whatever it is that they need to circumvent in order to go ahead and pay their athletes under the table like this. So I just think it sets a really bad precedent if Adam Silver does nothing or very little. And it even if they have to fight the players union, you have to go MLS too. Yes, don't forget MLS as well. But MLS is kind of like, they're so small. Well, yeah, there is Messi. Yeah, you're right. I should say Messi, and there's other big European stars here that play for MLS. You're right. But I will say again, it sends the wrong message, Joe, if you don't do anything to combat this now. I already said NHL, Johnny. I believe I did say NHL. There is other teams that are doing something like this. Rest assured, it just hasn't been found out yet. But now that the Clippers have been found out, I think it really, really should be put out there, because it has been detrimental to the league these past 3 weeks.
Do you think he's going to make a decision before the season starts?
No, because he's got a law firm that's doing a background investigation on this of type, and those things have a tendency to drag out. Maybe before the season starts, you're right. Because season starts mid to late, later October. About a month. It's 4 weeks away, roughly, before we can talk really the start of the season. So yes, there is the chance that they can get it done by then, but they have to make sure they get all the. I mean, there's a paper trail. If you go to Pablo Torre's finds out, and you see that he's got paper upon stacks of paper that show all the stuff that's going on, and there is paperwork proof on that as far as from that end. And if he's got 7 people that could talk, with him on it, why can't those 7 people talk to the NBA and get this thing done? So
if it's not going to get done before the season starts, then suspending Kawhi, I don't know if that's going to happen, but I guess I just, more about this than I do. You've read into it more than I do. I don't have a a gauge on it yet, other than the minimum amount of information that I have. And the reason why I haven't looked at it is because I just tend to, I've been so jaded and cynical in what I see online anymore. I don't believe anything. So it's just best to wait and see what definitive information is out. And then you can hear them say, this is damning. But even then, I've heard that too. Oh, this is damning. Oh, this is
It
this
just
is going
doesn't
to
look
cut.
good.
Yeah, it doesn't look good, but it sounds like they did exactly what they said that happened or allegedly happened. If that happened, you have to come down very, very hard on them. It ruined. We didn't get a chance to see Kawhi, LeBron, and AD because of it. Now that sucks. I'm noticing I haven't heard that talk. Kawhi would have been a Laker if this thing was true. How different would our discussions have been now? Drip Show would have had 19 championships on the poster, probably. Past the Celtics. A lot of things were ruined with that, if it's true. Oklahoma City maybe doesn't win a championship this last year. Yeah, it's a butterfly effect moment. This is probably the second time the Clippers were awarded a player that the Lakers should have had. It's just they got it differently. This time it wasn't the league saying no. It was the ownership going around the league.
And this is the first time they've done something shady under the Ballmer era. I mean, I mentioned before the DeAndre Jordan negotiations when he was a free agent. I guess there was some promises made, and they got what I think a $250,000 fine. It wasn't maybe a second round. I don't remember quite off the bat, but they were disciplined to a smaller extent for it. But this is something more egregious, and if they don't get anything, or if they get just a small slap on the wrist, I mean that just sends a signal to the rest of the NBA that, you know what, maybe we got to go ahead and either drum up an LLC or something and start doing some of this shady stuff ourselves.
Yeah, that's what that is. That's what that is. When you're a clown organization, even a billionaire can't unclown it.
Hmm.
No one cares about that stuff anyways. They care about
Before we head on out, JY had an interesting question. You remember the movie Indecent Proposal with Robert Redford? Again, rest in peace. Your thoughts? Is there a price for Joe? As far as doing the old Ted DiBiase, money. Everybody has a price. Does everybody have a price?
Well, I responded to that question, and I said, I'm already rich. I don't need. I wouldn't be coaxed into that deal.
I would say that everybody has a price, but it's not necessarily always monetary related to what that price is.
So Robert Redford wants to bang my wife for $1 million. Would I say yes? Is that the question?
I think he said, maybe he was alluding to that, which obviously was the story for.
The answer is no.
Okay.
The answer is no. That's funny, Kurt.
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't do that.
Kurt, you came on just after Sports Baby put that up, and
a lot of weirdos out there, though, man. I'll tell you right now, man. My sister was telling me a story today, and then I've been hearing more and more. I've been hearing the story more and more about open type stuff in and around normal areas, and of course that new show on Netflix called The Hunting Wives that adds more attention to it.
They're hunting, all right.
Yeah, that's for sure. And I watched it. I watched the first season, and I was okay. it wasn't earth shattering, but celebrating that kind of stuff only further. That's the word I'm looking for here. Celebrating that stuff is only showing why society is in the toilet the way it is. Why are you getting married why are you getting married if you're going to do that kind of stuff? Why don't you just stay single and do that stuff normal? To me, a marriage is about the couple. If you're about going around and screwing around with strangers and a bunch of freaking weird jackals, then why don't you just be a jackal? So I don't understand it.
I'm catching Anthony up on Indecent Proposal. That because that happened a long time ago. We got to put ourselves in that context. That movie happened a long time ago, but I think it was Woody Harrelson was the husband, correct?
Yeah.
To Demi Moore. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It was a good movie. I realized that Woody Harrelson could act after that movie.
Yeah.
Really act. I mean, I loved him in White Men Can't Jump. But he
that's
showed
a different. That's him being Woody Harrelson. Can he do something that deviates from that?
He's
and a Decent Proposal kind of did that.
Woody's great. Woody's great and
still active today.
He still looks the same. He's still doing his thing. I love the friendship he has with McConaughey. I always see that kind of stuff, and it makes me happy.
Maybe Joe, the greenery is greener on the other side because he likes this greenery. He's never been shy about that. As far as Woody Harrelson.
Greenery? $1 million for one night.
Harrison
More.
I'd
do it if I was a billionaire. Well,
Harrison loves. I just want to put you. He loves his marijuana.
Who?
Harrelson Woody.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, he's a noted fan. Let's just put
that. No. Demi Moore at that time was a smoke show. She still is, actually. But I would have never. The movie was great. Robert Redford was great, and everybody was great in the movie. But in terms of putting that in real life, yeah, it's very unlikely anyone would have ever approached me on that. People don't approach me in general. That's the gift from God that I've had most of my life. There's a demeanor and there's a presence that I guess is there that says to fuck off more than to come near me. It's just how it is. So I don't deal with weirdos. I don't deal with knobs, as my Australian brothers like to say every now and then to each other.
Ruben, I remember that. That was. It was a little maybe a little over dramatic, but again, where he hits it and hits it into the light post, and then the whole thing explodes, and the whole music and slow mo. He's running around the bases and all that. Yeah, it's funny. Ruben saying he was 47-year-old playing the role of a 35-year-old. That's not too surprising in Hollywood. So. Not too surprising.
Yeah, but it's Robert Redford, and no one. People looked older in the 30s and 40s, so it didn't. You never looked at him as a 47-year-old, which is crazy to think he was 47 when he made that movie. I'm 47. Robert Redford, God rest his soul. My father saw The Natural, and my dad always said this anytime it came on TV. He goes, "I can't see him acting." That's him. That's how good that guy was, man. Robert Redford was a movie star, man. And he was a movie star and he was an actor. That's the rare part. When you can act and you're a movie star. Because sometimes it's one or the other. Like The Rock is a movie star. He's not an actor. Arnold is a movie star.
Take a look at The Smashing Machine. That might change your mind. That when that comes out here, it already has been as far as released to film festivals, and he's getting high praise for it. I'll just say that.
Well, that's good. Again, I know that Keanu Reeves, for the first 20 years of his career, was called a dud. And then he got better, I guess, over time.
Gerald, can you put this week's live schedule? Are you saying when we go live next here on this show? Because I think it's going to be Thursday, and if the Lakerholics go on Saturday, there you go. Wednesday tomorrow, maybe Magic and I might do something. Might be an Inside Sports Fantasy Football. I'm not sure yet. I have to get with him on that, and I am recording more NBA team previews, but I think that's what you meant. If that's what you meant, that's what my schedule is so far. But for a Lakers fast break, I think I've got Thursday lined up for the next snack pack, unless some breaking news hits. But I've got more content each and every day for you guys on this channel because the first of the NBA team previews is going live here in a matter of minutes with that for everyone. And that's my conversation here with Legend on the Atlanta Hawks. Later tomorrow in the day, the conversation, which is already live for members for Boston Celtics with Justin Quinn. He was talking to me from Mexico City, or is it Mexico City, or some part of Mexico, one part of Mexico. I think it was Mexico City. He was talking to me about what's going on with the Boston Celtics. And then remember, those guys are also sharing their thoughts on the Lakers as well, so that you get to know what they think about the Lakers. And then I am dropping here in a few minutes for members my conversation coming up with Jamie Pan on the Brooklyn Nets. We had a detailed conversation on the Brooklyn Nets, and he also shares. He's a Lakers fan as well, but he writes on the Brooklyn Nets because you're trying to do anything to get a job in the writing industry, so you're covering any team. So he's covering the Brooklyn Nets, but he is a big Lakers fan. So he talks extensively about the Lakers as well. In fact, I probably would try to get him on during the season for some Lakers stuff as well. I actually talked to about 2 or 3 other people who are actually Lakers fans, but have to write for other teams because it's just the Lakers are just such a entity that already has just so much of a bottleneck as far as opportunity to rise up in the ranks, guys. So because everybody talks about Lakers, everybody writes about the Lakers, it's opportunity as far as those are far and few between. So I guess these guys have to go ahead and hustle, try to write for anybody can because they want to make it in the sports business. So I can't blame them. Kurt Fair, hope you asked him about Kobe Buffkin. This was taped before the major big Kobe Buffkins trade, Kurt. So no, unfortunately, no. But I don't think that's going to change their outlook in any way, shape, or form as far as that's concerned, Kurt. But yeah, if you guys go in, I put a lot of work into this. I've spent a lot of time trying to get this for you. I'm trying to get more content out to you guys on a regular basis. So I am dropping 29 NBA team previews alphabetically by city. And for you, everyone out there here in just a few minutes, my first one with Legend comes up for the Atlanta Hawks here. But if you're a member at $2.99 a month, you get to see them all. I think even a full day before anyone else does. So go ahead and check that out. Jeremy, Jerry says, what do you think about Lane doing ads for sports gambling now? A total disgrace. We talked about just a second ago, indecent proposal, Jeremy. How much would it take to, have relations with your wife or whatnot? And everybody has a price. Well, obviously everybody has a price. It's clear that everybody, has a price and they just don't have a problem with it, Jeremy. It's just that simple. I mean, you find the right number and they say yes. Johnny said Gerald would be Hugh Hauser tribute in California Gold TV show. Hugh Hauser. Okay. All right. All right. Indeed. Okay. No worries, Best. Glad to have you here. I know we're hard on you at times, but glad to have you here. We do appreciate you coming back. Joe, it's been a great episode. Again, we touched on the Dodgers. That bullpen again. Bando. And then, of course, what's going on with the Kawhi Leonard story. But again, we will be back on Thursday. Looking forward to doing a show then for sure. But any last thoughts, Joe? Oh, I think while I still have Joe crashed on me again. There he is. Any last thoughts, my friend, before we head on out?
Yeah.
I am still hopefully here. I lost Joe. I guess that was his last thought. Oh, here he comes back. There you go.
I'd like to. I'm looking forward to seeing Luka this season. I am invested in Luka Doncic playing this season and focusing on what could happen. And if the Lakers can get lucky and make a run here when we may not expect it, that's kind of where I'm at on that. As far as the Dodgers, I don't know where I'm at with that. We'll have to wait.
And before I give one more plug for Drip Show before we head on out, I do want to mention something. Actually, you hit me with that best league in regards to our schedule. Monday, we are coming on Monday. It is finally the proof of concept show. It's our attempt to showcase to radio stations in a radio style format in 15-minute segments what we can do as a potential radio show on a regular basis. So we are going to record a 3-hour show. Myself, Joe, John Costa, I did speak to yesterday, and he is committed to it. Maybe we can get other guests to come on as well from Pop In and out. Definitely looking forward to structure that like a radio show that you guys are familiar with. So that is going to take place on Monday. Definitely looking forward to that as how we set that up. But yeah, a lot of good things are coming up on the way. But yes, I am bringing you NBA team previews every single day. So keep on checking them out. If you're a member, you get it first at $2.99. Otherwise, like I said, you'll get it a day and a half later for everyone else out there. So definitely go ahead and look for that as well. Sports Baby says we'll be showing some NFL games on the Lakers Fast Break playback. So looking forward to seeing and checking out some NFL games there. He had on the Raiders debacle on that as far as is concerned for playback.tv/Lakers Fast Break. And then don't forget the Dodgers games. As you see Joe wearing that Dodgers motif right there on the excellent hat. The Dodgers games on the Joe Soro Experiment playback channel. And then last but not least, again, if you want quality work like this, this is quality right here, personified. If you want this with a custom style that you want to go ahead and say, you know what, I really want to get a gift of a nice canvas for a Lakers or something else that you know could be done, Drip Show's the guy's going to do it for you. And please go to @Drip Show Store. I believe that's correct. If I got that correct, Joe? Drip Show Store?
Yes.
Drip Show Store on Instagram. You go to Drip Show Store on Instagram. Follow him, and you can message him, and you can arrange something like this. He can give you quotes on how much it'll cost and whatnot. And you too can have something like this. Look at this quality. Look at this. This looks like a Sega Genesis game. Like I should be going to price charting and seeing how much it is brand new, sealed, or complete in box. This is excellent quality of Kobe Bryant and the 16-bit era. This is just truly a fantastic game. I am overwhelmed, Drip Show. Again, I'm truly overwhelmed by your kindness to me in showing this and making this for me. I am truly indebted to you for doing so. And again, please, as a way of paying you back, in some small fashion, I want to go ahead and promote your great work on all my shows. And Joe is as well. I mean, that hat you're wearing, Joe, is just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to the great stuff Drip Show has made for you.
Yeah, it's he's gotten me 2 posters. You can see the Shohei one right behind the Kobe one. I have 12 shirts, Drip Show shirts, all fit really well. The man is talented and needs to be praised and promoted, and he will.
By the way, best league, yeah, it's Lakers Fast Break at yahoo.com. If you ever forget, it's in the description below. But yeah, it's LakersFastBreak@yahoo.com. Hit me up anytime with any questions that you might have. Believe me, I used to get cursed out there during the season. I'll be cursed out there in email all the time. So people find it, they use it. But yeah, if you want to have a question or a comment or ways to get in contact with Drip Show, we can facilitate that as well. So if you don't want to follow on Instagram at Drip Show Shop, please hit me up and I will get you in touch with Drip Show if you've got something that you need or would like. Because again, Christmas is around the corner. If you've got a child or a son or daughter in your life, just imagine, Joe, and I think Drip Show, if you're still on, you could probably just, what if this was K-pop? If you've got daughters out there, guys, what kind of gift would this be if you made, or if Drip Show could make a K-pop Demon Hunter stuff right here? That would be insane. They would go nuts. You would be their favorite dad for at least a week, which is more than, for you guys out there. No, you're only a favorite dad for like a day or so. So you would be just revered if that was the case, Joe. Or like right now, Demon Slayer. You got a kid in your life that loves anime. Just think of that, Demon Slayer right there. Or if you got a Lakers fan in your life, look at that, Kobe, Shaq, LeBron, Luka. There you go. This is just amazing. I am truly overwhelmed. It is, it is a pleasure having to rearrange what you see behind me, Joe, before the start of the season and putting this up there, because this will be the centerpiece of it. Sorry, and all apologies to John Cena and also as well Cody Rhodes behind me, but yeah, this is going to be the centerpiece of that indeed. So yeah, this absolutely. But Joe, great show as always. You got the vents of frustrations on the Dodgers. Got to talk about Jarred Vanderbilt and Kawhi Leonard. Any last thoughts before we head on out? Drip Show, you're the man again.
I don't know. No, I don't. I'm done.
All right. Well, with that, again, please check out my NBA team previews. I'm putting a lot of work into this. Sometimes I have to get for teams, make 11, 12 separate requests to try and find the right people for these interviews. For some of these teams upcoming, I'm just going to give you guys a little bit of inside knowledge. I might be having 2 or more possible. Well, at least 2 on a couple of these teams. I will have 2 interviews on these teams to give you double the pleasure on that. So yeah, go ahead and check them out. Become a member for $2.99. You see them a lot sooner. Or if you just want to wait, they will be available. Please support what I'm doing because it really, really helps us out as far as it's concerned. So yeah, just a really great time for Lakers Fast Break. And Monday, proof of concept show. A lot of stuff good to happen here at the Lakers Fast Break. We're gearing up towards training camp. We're doing what we need to do. Joe is trying to put an ear to the ground, finding out exactly when the LeBron camp might be around the corner nearby. So we'll see what happens. But Drip Show, we're truly blessed to have you doing what you do for us. And again, everybody out there, we want to thank you as well for everything that you do. Mods, Vari and Mark, you're the best guys. Truly appreciate what you do, even though Barbara Streisand is still alive. Indeed. But for Joe Soros, me, Gerald Glassford, thanks again for watching, listening. We'll see you next time. Keep your eye on this channel. NBA team previews coming at you every day, and our show coming up later this week right here at the Lakers Fast Break Podcast. Follow Drip Show. Drip Show Stop. Go get stuff. Drip Show Store. Drip Show Store. I got it right this time. Drip Show Store. Drip Show Store. Got to go there. Get some stuff.